It's never a good day when we see a boat sitting in the middle of the road. The unusual part of this one's usually when I see these is because somebody forgot to attach the bow eye, but here, as you can tell as we get closer to the boat, they didn't forget this time. The whole attachment came off. Welcome back, guys. It is your boy Broncos Guru, and it's this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. Our first event to make the boating news this week is going to show us what it's like when you're having a good time down in Florida. Now, I'm pretty accustomed anymore to seeing some strange videos come out of Florida, but even this one threw me off. This here is actually video images of another YouTuber by the name of Whistling Diesel. These video images actually show his most recent trip down to the Bradenton, Florida area, where he was doing an event at the DeSoto Motor Speedway, but decided he was going to go ahead and pull this stunt off as well. This is his converted truck called Monster Max, which they have turned and actually registered as a boat in the state of Indiana. He brought this truck down to Florida with him, took it down to a boat ramp, and quickly began putting it together at the boat ramp. But of course, a vehicle this size is going to draw attention, and it absolutely did. Authorities at the boat ramp actually tried to stop him from pulling this stunt off, so much so to the point that he even had to wind up painting the letters of his registration onto this truck because they weren't going to let him launch unless the registration was actually physically on the vehicle. But after several attempts and speaking to some authorities, they were finally able to get this vessel launched, and this is the scene of what it looked like. It was rolling through Bradenton's waters and out into the Gulf of Mexico as well. This is a pretty wild scene. They did successfully get this back up on the ramp as well. Our next incident to make the boating news is going to remind me of that scene from Jaws where they say we're going to need a bigger boat. Apparently, a group of rogue killer whales has been attacking boats off the coast of Spain and Portugal, and it's only getting worse. Just this past summer alone, there have been over 49 reported incidents where killer whales attacked boats. One of the strangest parts of these incidents is it's almost like a coordinated event. Most of these sailors are reporting that the orcas were actually focusing on single areas of the boat, such as the rudder, basically trying to disable the vessel. And many of these incidents don't just mention this happening for a few minutes. Several times this happened for hours while being out on the water. I can't imagine being miles offshore, having orcas continually banging against the rudder of the boat for hours. Has definitely got to be an unsettling event for the crews on these boats. I'll tell you what though, this is pretty much par for the course, just when you thought 2020 couldn't get any stranger, right? The next item to make the boating news this week is going to be the Patriot. That's the America's Cup racing yacht representing the United States. It just finished its first couple of weeks of testing down in New Zealand. The vessel was shipped by cargo plane almost 9,000 miles from Rhode Island down to Auckland. Of course, the team's a little weary to speak about top speeds they're seeing in this vessel, but all they will say so far is they're pretty impressed with it right out of the box. They'll spend the next couple months tweaking this vessel and getting it ready for the actual America's Cup event, which is currently still scheduled to start on March 6th of 2021. Our next event to make the boating news this week is going to take us down toward Black Point Marina down in Miami. Now, typically I wouldn't put this one on the news because it wasn't that major of an event, but it kind of is for us because this is one of our homes. We do film some scenes for the Miami Boat Ramps channel down here near Black Point Marina as well, so when I saw this happen, I figured I might as well toss it on here. As you can tell, these guys didn't get very far. They launched from Black Point Marina, entered Biscayne Bay, and as soon as they did, the boat began to sink. Fortunately, there were rescue vessels nearby and these guys were okay. Our next incident to make the boating news this week is going to take us up to Sitka, Alaska, where a Coast Guard air crew with an MH-60 Jayhawk helicopter wound up hoisting 3 boaters from their jet boats that got stuck in about a foot of ice. The event happened about 5 miles northeast of Hole-in-the-Wall Glacier on the Taku River. These guys got absolutely lucky. The operator of a Good Samaritan vessel actually initially reported these 2 vessels being stuck in the ice and was able to get a hold of the Coast Guard and give the location so they could come out and rescue these crews. Also, one of the members of the crew's wives actually wound up calling the Coast Guard station as well, reporting that her husband was overdue from the time he said he would be back in. And this one just serves as a good reminder. Whenever you're doing anything on a boat, always have a float plan, and be sure to share that float plan with family and friends in case an event ever happens. At least then they know where to direct the Coast Guard to go, where you should be to be able to try and find you in the event that you come up missing. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening in your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here, just like Orlando Perez, Isela Demiza, Eric Wolf, and Brody Chonacki did this week. And if you haven't already, guys, go ahead and drop an anchor on that subscribe button.